you know, this is not good. We have another empty desk situation. No, I'm just kidding. I have a plethora of more things coming in. Uh, one of which came in multiple boxes. This is a first for me. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show that on camera because it's just really big. But I do have one that I want to share. Uh, is this guy? This is the Zoids Sea Panther, the Advanced Z number AZ10 Sea Panther. It is a motorized death hermit crab. I've talked about Zoids at least briefly, or at least brought them up before, and I've honestly loved these things ever since I was a kid. These are just, I don't know what it is, because it's like, oh, hey, we got human shaped robot things. Why not have animal shaped ones? And for that matter, why not hermit crab shaped ones? Well, for the longest time, this is really cool. I was really excited when they announced this because for the longest time, the original Sea Panther was really hard to get and never made its way from the original Japanese line in the 80s to the newer Japanese line until I think maybe the Zoids graphics release. But that never made its way to the US. So, small child me, who was very heavily influenced by these things, um, knew of this thing through like osmosis and like looking at pictures on the internet and on eBay, but never got one. Well, now I have one, and it's actually cool because this one is battery powered, unlike the original, which was wind up. There's some really just neat stuff too. They've added some more things from the original Sea Panther. I still, unfortunately, don't have an original Sea Panther to compare this thing to, but maybe that will be a future unwise financial decision I make. But some of the things I just wanted to talk about is I just really, really love this box art. Something that Zoids did, especially with the like promotional material, is they would do like dioramas would be the box art. And it made these things feel just like a little bit more real for some reason. Um, Looking on the back, you get some features. It's all in Japanese, so, and I'm not going to try and translate it this time live. I think I learned my lesson. But it does move. It has an opening cockpit with a pilot. It has optional, like, this is new, by the way. These parts are new to this particular model. It has a rotating radar dish or sonar dish, if I remember the promotional material correctly. They did a little video that was in English of this thing. It was really cool, CG animated. But they added this radar dish and they added these little like hermit crab type feelers. The original just looked like that. The other thing is that the cannon can extend. Excuse me, and it does kind of bob up and down with the motorized motion. You've got a lot of features exposing missile pods, and it can move forward and backwards. We get some interesting schematics here. I think that's saying it's about 9 meters tall. Maybe? I don't know which one's width and height. I know it weighs 28.5 tons, metric tons, with a top speed of 100 kilometers an hour, which I believe is like roughly, that's 60 miles per hour. It's a pretty fast hermit crab, considering it's at least maybe 9 meters tall, 4.9 meters wide, or maybe 5.4 meters wide. I don't remember the kanji. But this is super cool. Like, I just can't tell you how excited. So it seems very odd, but I'm really excited to have just this murder death hermit crab. For a little bit of lore, I'm not a Zoids lore expert, but there is lore. There were cartoons as well here in the US that did get like aired on Cartoon Network. I didn't watch a ton of them. I didn't think they were as interesting as the toys were and slash model kits. But this is a Zenibus Empire Zoid, hence the EMZ31 designation. EMZ meaning Empire Zoid, and it was just 31st in the product line. What is interesting, as I will attempt to open this one-handed. Oh dear. So what is interesting is that inside, I'll just pull out the instruction manual, because there's not a lot that's exciting in here, other than that little cardboard box has the motor unit. But what is interesting You get some nice color instruction manuals, but you get a replication of the original sticker sheet, which is super cool. And they've added some bonus stickers in here. These little ones that are hard to focus on. The little dragon with the sword. Um, that is a Gylos Empire sticker, and if I recall, Gylos never adopted these. These were kind of left with the Zenivus Empire because it was just an older kit. The prior to this kit being released, um, it was just the only other release was the Zoids graphics one, which came with a cool little book. And that one still had Zenivus Empire markings, which are these like ones that are also like some kind of dragon and sword. But one of the really cool things is that Zoids always came with these marking stickers, and it made it feel really just kind of all the more real to small me. Like you got like these cool skull markings, like a unit mark, caution markings, faction markings, and then even little kill count markings. Those are little tiny Helic Republic logos and some serial numbers of some sort. But as I mentioned, the original was a wind-up motor. This one uses a battery, specifically a battery I have never heard of before, an LR1 or N size battery. I'm sure I can find it on Amazon. I will, because I absolutely want this guy to be motorized. Some other difference aside from the extra parts and armaments, he does have clear. Now, they make it look like on the packaging and stuff that his eyes light up. They don't. The electronics don't do that. They're just translucent red pieces now instead of just being that one solid headpiece. Um, but this should be pretty cool. I'm really excited to get this guy put together just because I find the whole concept, number one, really amusing, and number two, I'm just excited because I've always wanted to see Panther. And I think it's really cool that Takara Tomy in their new AZ line, which is, to kind of give you an idea of what AZ is, it stands for Advanced Z. ZI. That's the name of the planet Zoids is set on, by the way. Uh, I don't know how much I can go into detail on that because I'm not very well versed. This is the motor unit that goes inside him and takes the battery. But it's just really neat because effectively what Takara Tomy is trying to do with this line. I'm trying really hard to get like good footage of this. It's a slide open box, but you can see there's like the radar dish. Looks like we've got... Ooh, are these rubber like the original? Oh, there goes. The caps, which on the original toy kind of took the place of polycaps, because they were rubberized and they would hold the joints together. They do seem to be made of a softer material. They're definitely not as soft as the original rubber caps, but they are like not hard plastic like a lot of the other Advanced Z line figures or toys, kits, there we go, that I've built. To be fair, I've only built two other ones. I've built the Death Soarer and I've built the Blade Liger. The Death Soarer is phenomenal, and so the Blade Liger is really cool too. They did a really good job making its movements feel organic, which was really impressive. This guy, from what I've seen, he just kind of goes back and forth and moves about as realistically as you might expect him to. But lots of cool detail. It's molded in like a thicker, chunkier plastic. It's more toyetic, which I think is cool. It may make it a little funky to panel line. I had some panel lining problems on my Blade Liger just because it just did not like it. Not that it damaged the plastic or anything. It was just thick. Like it just didn't flow evenly using the panel liner fluid. But to finish that thought that I just totally glossed over, these are effectively remakes of the original 80s and would model kits, motorized model kits that would go all the way until the 2000s, especially here in the US, where they were imported by Hasbro and repackaged. But they're remakes, which is super cool. They're going back to old designs and then optimizing them. They've done the same thing with the Molga, which is like a little caterpillar kind of Zoid. That was also originally a wind-up Zoid, but has a motor now. They're doing it with a lot of the big name ones too, like your Ligers. They have a Liger Zero. They have a Shield Liger, a Saber Tiger. They even have the Liger Zero Phoenix, which is pretty cool, and the Mugen Liger. And I keep kicking myself because I saw the Mugen Liger at my local hobby shop, and they're expensive. Don't get me wrong; these are very, very high end. Like these are very much intended for like a mature, like, adult collector market. In fact, it says that on the package, 15 years and up. And so they come with a price tag. I will tell you that this little hermit crab was like $50. He's not cheap, and he's not going to be very big. I'm trying to like rearrange this. Please, please, please. Okay. But yeah, these are expensive, but they're well worth it because they're very high quality. It's really cool to see Takara Tomy doing stuff with motorized Zoids again as a mainline thing. Zoids Wild was alright. I think there was some cool stuff in there. I had fun with some of those kits. It was neat too because they weren't quite like regular models. All the parts were already cut out of the sprue. You just had to put it together. But this feels like what a lot of old heads like myself have been wanting for so long with the AZ line. Proper reimaginations, remakes of original model kits in the line with modern technology. And I cannot be more ecstatic that they chose something as goofy and as just obscure as the Sea Panther as their latest entry. They have some more stuff coming. There's also a smaller line that Takara Tomy's doing called the Realize model. They're 1/100th scale rather than the... Oh, shoot, where does it say? 1/72nd scale. Uh, rather than the 1/72nd scale. So they're a bit smaller. These are also in scale, which with the really, really phenomenal Kotobukiya high-end master model series, which I have quite a few of. The big draw from those is that those are not motorized, but they're very highly detailed and highly articulated model kits. And I have a few of them that I'm quite fond of. So I don't know what's been going on, but it makes me really happy. We're kind of in like a second, dare I say, a second kind of renaissance for Zoids. Maybe nothing like the 80s and 90s and 2000s for these guys, but it's so cool to see new traditional Zoids products rolling off uh, and just being released. So, I'm definitely going to be building this guy first over the thing that comes in 2 boxes. I just can't really film it, but that one's going to require a lot more explanation and a more detailed video, which I'll try my best to do. I'm also working on doing something where I can use both my hands. Until then, I will follow up with a full thing on the Sea Panther when he's done and my divorce proceedings are in better state, a better state. I hope you guys are doing well and better than me. Okay, bye.